How can companies go and actually find Salesforce experienced talent?
Well, again, if you're using internal recruiting and posting a job on LinkedIn, unfortunately, that is what all the companies are doing, right? And I don't as a recruiter, I don't post on LinkedIn because I end up getting 300 resumes of 298 of them are not what I'm looking for. And so it becomes really just a pain and a amount of work that I'm not really wanting to put in to filter through all these resumes. And I have to imagine internal talent acquisition departments and HR are seeing the same pain that I am whenever they post something. So I think you have to be an outbound type of recruiter to be able to reach to individuals and try to get a conversation started. And that's kind of what I try to do as far as posting content, doing book reviews, and trying just to understand, let the community know that if they ever are looking for a new position, there's a good chance that I might have a good fit for them based on what they're looking for in their career. And so an internal inbound, an internal recruiter or an internal talent acquisition department posting a position in this kind of market right now, as far as all the demand that's happening and the thousands of jobs that are out there, I think they're going to struggle to find talent unless they're using an external recruiter. I'm not just advocating external recruiter. I'm just saying somehow do an outbound process to try to be able to get folks engaged and having some dialogue with them.
It would be helpful perhaps for a Salesforce customer to hear directly from you, Chris, on how can customers engage and work with technical recruiters like yourself. Like what's the model like and what other benefits can you highlight that could help them, find the right talent and accelerate the value?
Yeah. And a lot of companies already have an external partner or an agency that maybe specialize in all kinds of different technologies, right? So they may have a technology company like that has specialties in network administration or databases or certain software applications, maybe AWS, maybe Azure, right? And so that's fine. But, I think the challenge a lot of times is when you're talking about niche areas of applications, such as, Salesforce, and just someone that specializes just in one particular niche, they're going to send you most likely only one or two, maybe three resumes based on the skill sets you're looking for, versus going to a generalist recruiting company that they just do a keyword search and they don't really know exactly what to look for or how to screen a candidate, what questions to ask. And so when that happens, you're just going to get a lot more of your time wasted. So I think speed to market and be able to make a hire is where, obviously the advantage is when you're using an external recruiter. Now, I know there's expenses tied to it, and a lot of companies don't use external recruiters because they would rather just wait it out and maybe wait for a resume to come through a job posting, which I understand because of the expense of using an external recruiter such as myself. So it really just depends on the variables and the budget outlined internally for an organization. But me personally, I told a customer yesterday, I said, this role is very niche. It's going to take me a while to find it. I'm going to dedicate time every day to look for it, but it could take two to 3 weeks. And that's me constantly chipping away at it. Just think if you post it on LinkedIn, it's probably going to take you, 9 months maybe to get one qualified resume for that skill set. I'm guessing 9 months. It's going to take a long time. And I'm doing it. It's going to take me 2 to 3 weeks chipping away at it every day. So it really depends on how soon you're looking to make a hire. Sometimes customers have a system integrator in place, and so they're still making innovative enhancements on their platform, and they're willing to do that until an internal hire comes through. Or they could decide to maybe remove the integrator and use an external recruiter just to bring that individual to them in a quicker fashion versus using the traditional job boards. So traditionally, I think the standard for external recruiters are 20% fee based on the individual's base salary, right? So if it's a $100,000 position, 20K is what the recruiting company is going to charge. Now, some recruiting companies charge more based on the position, right? So if it's something more senior level, they may charge 25 to 30% based on the role. Here at Imperial Staff, we're usually a flat 20% fee company just to keep it easy with the customer. We have a simple one-page agreement, just talks about, if we present this candidate and you haven't seen them before, then it's really ours to represent. If you already have them in the database, then we understand that we don't have the ability to represent that individual. And then we offer a 90-day guarantee. So if for some reason you make the hire and that individual doesn't work out, or they decide to leave, or you decide that they're not a good fit for what we're looking for, then there's a refund associated to that. And so that's kind of how the process is. And Pure Staff, our process is very simple. One-page fee agreement, making sure that the terms and conditions are accepted. Sometimes we go through legal with companies who have a big legal department and they want to maybe do some red lines and make some changes to it, which we're very open to. And, there's some recruiting companies, I think, that have a long playbook or a huge contract in place, and their fees are based on the position and seniority. But it really depends on who you're wanting to work with. One question that you asked about how to find external recruiters, I think just doing a Google search, maybe look on the App Exchange. Word of mouth, I think, is the best way to find external recruiters. The trust is already there a lot of times. If you ask somebody in the industry who's a good external recruiter, there's a good chance that they'll know somebody who knows somebody that they have worked with in the past, or they know someone they can trust, and they can, because trust is a big thing when it comes to recruiting. We're talking about people's careers, as far as finding the right fit, as well as companies have a lot at stake and on the line when it comes to hiring the right talent. So trust is probably the number one factor when it comes to using external recruiters.
Definitely. I can totally see the value. I've been in that position, in the hiring manager's shoes, having very specific, high skill niche roles open for a year, and struggling to find the right talent and to bring them in as fast as you need to. So I can definitely see the value in engaging people like you and others that specialize in finding Salesforce experienced talent, that have the right connections in the ecosystem, and that can help hiring managers really shorten that cycle and bring in people, because time is money.
And it really depends on how relaxed the position is. When I say relaxed, if you need someone to meet 8 of the 10 requirements, that's going to be a hard fill, and that's where you're going to need an external recruiter. If it's more of something we can have, of these 10 requirements, 2 are must-haves and the 8 are relaxed and nice to haves, then you may be able to find somebody internally to recruit on that. And so it really depends. The roles that I get are the hardest to find, are the purple unicorns that they can't find themselves. And I bang my head against the wall day in and day out trying to find them as well. But that's really what I'm getting paid for to do. We don't charge anything to the customer. So we're really working for free from both the candidate side and the client side until we find someone and place them in a full-time position. So a lot of the work I do is with the hopes that I'm able to get that across the finish line and to be able to get paid for my services.